Chapter 27. This is the list of the Israelites, the family heads, the commanders of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds, and their officers, who served the king in every matter to do with the divisions that were on rotated military duty each month throughout the year. There were 24,000 in each division. Jeshobeam, son of Zabdiel, was in charge of the first division for the first month. 24,000 were in his division. He was a descendant of Perez and chief of all the army commanders for the first month. Dodai the Ahohite was in charge of the division for the second month, and Mikloth was the leader. 24,000 were in his division. The third army commander, as chief for the third month, was Benaiah, son of the priest Jehoiada. 24,000 were in his division. This Benaiah was a mighty man among the 30 and over the 30. And his son Amizabad was in charge of his division. The fourth commander for the fourth month was Joab's brother Asahel, and his son Zebadiah was commander after him. 24,000 were in his division. The fifth for the fifth month was the commander Shamhuth the Izrahite. 24,000 were in his division. The sixth for the sixth month was Ira son of Ikesh the Tekoite. 24,000 were in his division. The seventh for the seventh month was Helez the Pelonite from the descendants of Ephraim. 24,000 were in his division. The eighth for the eighth month was Sibbecai the Hushathite, a Zerahite. 24,000 were in his division. The ninth for the ninth month was Abiezer the Anathothite, a Benjaminite. 24,000 were in his division. The tenth for the tenth month was Maharai the Netophathite, a Zerahite. 24,000 were in his division. The 11th for the 11th month was Benaiah the Pirathonite, from the descendants of Ephraim. 24,000 were in his division. The 12th for the 12th month was Heldai the Netophathite of Othniel's family. 24,000 were in his division. The following were in charge of the tribes of Israel. For the Reubenites, Eliezer, son of Zichri, was the chief official. For the Simeonites, Shephatiah, son of Maacah. For the Levites, Hashabiah, son of Kemuel. For Aaron, Zadok. For Judah, Elihu, one of David's brothers. For Issachar, Omri, son of Michael. For Zebulun, Ishmaiah, son of Obadiah. For Naphtali, Jeremoth, son of Azriel. For the Ephraimites, Hoshea, son of Azaziah. For half the tribe of Manasseh, Joel, son of Pedaiah. For half the tribe of Manasseh in Gilead, Iddo, son of Zechariah. For Benjamin, Jaasiel, son of Abner. For Dan, Azarel, son of Jeroham. Those were the leaders of the tribes of Israel. David didn't count the men aged 20 or under, for the Lord had said he would make Israel as numerous as the stars of the sky. Joab, son of Zeruiah, began to count them, but he didn't complete it. There was wrath against Israel because of this census, and the number was not entered in the historical record of King David. Asmaveth, son of Adiel, was in charge of the king's storehouses. Jonathan, son of Uzziah, was in charge of the storehouses in the country, in the cities, in the villages, and in the fortresses. Ezri, son of Caleb, was in charge of those who worked in the fields tilling the soil. Shimei the Ramathite was in charge of the vineyards. Zabdi the Shiphmite was in charge of the produce of the vineyards for the wine cellars. Baal-Hanan the Gederite was in charge of the olive and sycamore trees in the Judean foothills. Joash was in charge of the stores of olive oil. Shitrai the Sharonite was in charge of the herds that grazed in Sharon, while Shaphat, son of Adlai, was in charge of the herds in the valleys. Obil the Ishmaelite was in charge of the camels. Jediah the Meronothite was in charge of the donkeys. Jaziz the Hagrite was in charge of the flocks. All these were officials in charge of King David's property. David's uncle Jonathan was a counselor. He was a man of understanding and a scribe. Jehiel, son of Hachmoni, attended the king's sons. Ahithophel was the king's counselor. Hushai the Archite was the king's friend. After Ahithophel came Jehoiada, son of Benaiah. Then Abiathar. Joab was the commander of the king's army.